Welcome to the DAF Media pregame report. It's the first Under the Lights game at the Darien High School Stadium Field. It's varsity football between the Fairfield Prep Jesuits and the Darien Blue Wave. And a pleasant good evening, everyone. Liam Tomaszewski joined alongside my color commentator, Thomas Aponte. And Thomas, this is the game on the schedule for Darien, the rematch of the 2021 Class L State Championship. The Blue Wave coming into this game 2-0, the Jesuits 0-2. What do you think we're going to see here tonight?
I think we're going to see a lot of high-level and physical play as both teams will be very hungry to win tonight. With Darien only getting the first win out of a forfeit and kind of struggling last week against McMahon to scrape out that win, and with Fairfield Prep going 0-2 for the first time since 2015, I think it's going to be a vital game for both teams in proving that they have more than what they've shown so far this season.
Yes, we're going to hop into our pregame report first. We're going to take a look at last week's game for Darien where they faced the Brian McMahon Senators, and here are the highlights from that game. And you just saw right there, the Blue Wave defeated the Senators 21-14 last Friday in their home opener. And Thomas, what did Darien do well in that game?
I think Darien did a great job in three key areas, especially in the second half. Firstly, they did a good job installing McMahon's run game and making it hard for them to pick up consistent yardage on offense. Secondly, they did a great job in creating chunk plays for themselves through many effective inside runs and quick passing out to the flats or within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage. And thirdly, they did a great job in not only forcing third downs, but forcing third downs that were 3rd and 7 to 12 yards, putting McMahon in many tough situations, with them only ending the game with a 4 for 15 third down conversions.
Yeah, so that was Darien's week 2 matchup. Now let's look at Fairfield Prep Jesuits side. They fell to the Daniel Hand Tigers 34-35 in overtime in their first SCC matchup of the year, home at Rafferty Stadium. Both teams were strong offensively. And I mean, it went back and forth all game, but Fairfield Prep ultimately missed a field goal to win the game, and the Tigers would come up after a failed 2-point conversion. And what did you see out of Jesuits in week 2?
I saw a team that plays with a lot of heart and confidence, with big passing plays that help lead to a tremendous 274 yards to the air, and the courage to go for an all-or-nothing 2-point conversion overtime. You can see the belief that this team has in themselves. They are offensively explosive, and their will to keep on fighting back versus a tough Daniel Hand team was impressive and something that they will need in order to bounce back from this 0-2 start.
Yeah, so those were last week's game. Now let's look at some key players for this game. And as for Prep, the Blue Wave are going to need to watch out for wide receiver Finbar Malloy. And Thomas, what do you have for us on Malloy?
Malloy was unstoppable last week with 9 receptions for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's a quick wide receiver with great awareness that allows him to stretch secondaries and find gaps within zone defenses. To stop him, Darien might have to put a second defensive back on him or try to attack the problem at its root and put pressure on the quarterback, Tyler Smith, to force less targets to Malloy. But the most important thing the Darien secondary has to make sure of is that Malloy does not get behind them, because he will make them pay with the deep ball.
Yeah, and as for Darien, our player to watch is senior captain Ryan Galamo. And what do you like about his game?
One of the biggest things I like about Galamo's game is how versatile he is. He can play both sides of the ball really well, as we saw last week, where on offense, he had some strong runs and good catches out of the backfield, while on defense, he came away with the interception that sparked the fire that Darien needed last week to turn the tide of that game, and he forced a fumble.
Now shifting back to the history of these two teams, the last time these two teams played each other was in that 2021 Class L Championship at McDougall Field in Trumbull, a game where Darien was dominant from the start to finish, taking down the Jesuits 42-7. And Thomas, what did Darien do right in that game, and how do they need to bring the energy from that game into this one?
The two major reasons why Darien was able to dominate in that game were their capability to establish the running game early and their suffocating defense that put an immediate stop to any potential offense productivity by Prep. Darien ended the game with a sublime 290 yards on the ground while holding Prep to just 52 yards and 3 first downs through the first 3 quarters. To do something similar in today's game, Darien will have to be extremely tough up front on the offensive line and bring an unrelenting energy that will allow them to win each battle in the trenches. They will also need to be fundamentally sound, meaning no penalties, winning the turnover battle, and each player doing their job on each play with no missed assignments.
Yeah, so seeing Fairfield Prep getting taken by the Blue Wave in 2021, this Fairfield Prep team has had great seasons the past 2 years. They won their SEC conference both in 2021 and 2022, both years qualifying for the state playoffs, both ending in losing the state championship back-to-back years. And what does this Prep team have to do to keep their energy strong and eventually take home a state title in 2023?
I think that Prep needs to maintain the belief in their skills that I mentioned earlier. This is a great team that just needs to work on finishing out seasons, which means showing up in each big game. Remaining united in their approach to each game is a big part of that, as well as not getting discouraged by the past. If they can find a way to stop the powerhouse FCIAC offenses by forcing turnovers and putting them out of their rhythm, then this is a team that automatically becomes a whole lot scarier, as they already have shown this season that they have an offense that can compete at a high level.
Yeah, so you see Fairfield Prep taking out of conference teams. And now talking about the Connecticut High School Football Alliance. The alliance was created in 2017 and it allows teams to play out of conference teams in the regular season schedule. This game tonight, the second of these games for both of these squads. Darien, the first game was against the North Haven Nighthawks, which was forfeited by North Haven, and for the Prep, the Greenwich Cardinals. And Thomas, how important is it to play these out of conference teams come state playoff time in November?
The Alliance gives these teams an opportunity to play teams from all around the state. I mean, you look at the list of Week 3 games, you have Greenwich Maloney, Platt Wilton, Newtown Trumbull, Staples Sellington, Notre Dame West Haven St. Joe's, and Windsor New Canaan. And these are just a few of these games. Overall, though, the Alliance is there to show what teams are going to have to go through to take home a state title. You're going to have to beat really good teams that are not just in your conference, and the Alliance gives a sneak peek into what you may face later on in the season. It shows how you're going to have to play if you want to win a state championship.
And now our final takes before you send you off to kickoff. What are the keys to the game for both of these teams?
For Prep, they have to exploit Darien's defense, which means using the speed and agility of their receivers to blow by defenders and create big passing plays that we saw McMahon use to jump to an early lead last week. They also have to play hard from the outset. Establishing a running game early by winning the line of scrimmage will help them in being able to continually drive the Darien defense back. Finally, they have to make smart plays, meaning no turnovers and no penalties. They have a great offense and cannot afford to lose big plays over costly holding penalties in the backfield. For Darien, they must play to their strengths. That means doing what worked last week with their quick, short passing and their runs inside that created a steady offensive rhythm. Home field advantage will also help Darien today, with their big crowd always being in attendance, especially in games like tonight's. The players should use the energy of the crowd to motivate and push them to the win today. Lastly, Darien needs to be able to give their full effort and focus for the entire 48 minutes. This is a hard-to-handle Fairfield Prep offense that can definitely tire out their opponents by the end of the game. So having grit, staying sharp, and playing their game will be big components for Darien in competing with Prep for 4 full quarters.
Yeah, so those are the keys to the game for both sides in this matchup, and that will do it for our pregame report. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, we have the kickoff between the highly anticipated matchup of the Fairfield Prep Jesuits and the Darien Blue Wave on the DAF Media Network.
He's going to roll out right. He's going to motion. He's going to go to the end zone. It's going to be caught. They're going to say touchdown. Oh, my goodness, Connor Lane.
It's the rematch of the 2021 Class LL Championship here at the Darien High School Stadium Field in this Week 3 out-of-conference matchup where the Fairfield Prep Jesuits will clash against the Darien Blue Wave under the lights. And a pleasant evening, everyone. Liam Tomaszewski joined alongside my color commentator, Thomas Aponte, and just our DAF Media pregame report. But before we send you down to kickoff, we're going to send down to our field reporter, Owen Heffron, for more on tonight's matchup.
Thanks, guys. Tonight, a matchup between a winless and an undefeated team as the Darien Blue Wave host the 0-2 Fairfield Prep. Fairfield Prep is 0-2 for the first time since 2015. Darien coming off that win 21-14 versus Brian McMahon. The last time these two teams faced off was in the SEAC Championship in 2021, where Darien did beat Fairfield Prep 42-7 in that game. Should be a fun one in store tonight. Back to you guys.
Yes, indeed it is, Owen. Going to be a great game tonight. Of course, the rematch of that state playoff game. And Thomas, the atmosphere is electric here so far. The student section bringing it. Everyone's coming out, the band. And this is just going to be a great overall matchup here at the Stadium Field.
Yeah, I can't wait for this matchup. Crowd's filling in right now. We got a packed student section. They're getting ready. It's going to be an exciting one.
Yeah, of course, it's going to be an exciting one. Of course, talk about some of our key players in this one, Ryan Gerlamo and Finbar Malloy for Fairfield Prep and Darien. And, of course, Darien defense going to have to get some more turnovers and just overall stop this high-powered Fairfield Prep offense in this game.
Yeah, winning the turnover battle will be huge today for these two defenses. And especially stopping that big passing game that Fairfield Prep showed that they have last week.
Yeah, indeed, there's a rivalry for these teams, forming only have played each other once before the second all-time meeting. And we were just getting ready live here at the Darien High School Stadium Field. It's going to be a great Friday Night Lights matchup, the first of the year for the Blue Wave. And all these teams getting underway. Of course, Darien for last year, a lot riding on this game. Last year they went 6-4, not qualifying for the state tournament. This year they're 2-0. They got a big home game right now. What do you think's on their minds of all the players?
I think they just really want to get this win. I think they really want to show that they're better than what we saw last week versus McMahon. They really struggled, especially in that first half. They did better in the second half to shut out McMahon and get the win, but I think they really want to prove that they can beat a team like Fairfield Prep, who is, despite going 0-2, is pretty good considering their only losses are against Greenwich and a good Daniel Hand team as well.
And indeed is the Fairfield Prep Jesuits, of course, losing to the Greenwich Cardinals and the Daniel Hand Tigers, two really good teams in the SEC and the FCAC conferences. So a lot riding on this interleague play. Of course, the Connecticut High School Alliance matchup in this Week 3 game. And a little brisk breeze here at the stadium field. Clouds in the distance. Haven't seen the sun really all day, but you know, it's windy out right now. You think on those kick returns, on just being able to see the ball in the air if it's moving a lot, how do you think that'll affect gameplay?
Yeah, the wind is definitely picking up here tonight, and so I wouldn't be surprised if the kicking game becomes a little bit trickier for both these teams. And if coaches maybe try to go for on fourth down or on two-point conversions more to just avoid the wind completely.
And now your away team, Fairfield Prep Jesuits, getting to their sideline. And we are underway in the Blue Wave coming out of the tunnel. A very exciting matchup on our hands here. Of course, for Darien head coach Andy Grant, 2-0. His first season as head coach, a lot riding on this game for him as well. Just trying to maintain this Darien football team for years to come.
Yeah, there's definitely a high standard that comes with this Darien football team that he would definitely be trying to live up to in his first year.
And both these teams just getting ready here. Awaiting the Darien Blue Wave football team. But everyone here at the stadium field is ready for what's going to be a premier matchup between the Jesuits and the Wave.
Fan and student section now up on their feet, waiting.
And here we go, Darien football getting ready. Of course, this game new for the 2023 season. The Darien High School added more under the lights games for this Wave football team. Normally they only get 2. And here they come, the Blue Wave in their blackout jerseys. And these Darien players getting ready. They know the stadium is electric.
The atmosphere is always fantastic on these night games, and it's really exciting they got more this season.
Yeah, Darien football always bringing in the fans for these home games.
Direct your attention to midfield for the coin toss. Darien sends out Ryan Delano, Clifton Shelton, Will Button, and Prince McGurk.
And of course, the team's respective captains getting out there for the coin toss.
Be interesting to see what Darien decides to do if they do win this coin toss.
Yeah, the flower already going in the student section.
Prep wins the toss and defers into the second half.
And here we go, both these teams getting ready to hype up their players. A huge game for both of these teams. Darien wanted to make a statement in this FCI conference. They take the win today. They go 3-0 undefeated on the year. And Fairfield Prep, this is a game just to get a win on the board.
They definitely want to bounce back after that 0-2 start. So this game is very important as they break the huddle now and will be taking the field any second now.
south end of the flag here. Jeremy Easy Media Hat. As the Darien High School band plays our national anthem under the guidance of Jonathan Brown.
The beautiful rendition of the national anthem here, the Darien High School Band. And the flower in the student section, one of the oldest traditions in Darien High School history.
Yes, this is definitely a tradition that gets these students hyped and very much into the game.
And just to get the bout underway here at the high school stadium field.
Looks like Darien will be the one receiving the ball first.
Darien will take receiving of the ball first. And as Fairfield Prep will get ready to kick the ball off with their sophomore kicker. And kicker for Fairfield Prep, Benjamin Cornelius. First year on this varsity squad for him. He will kick the ball off as we get underway in this contest. Harry Rooney and John Rudy in the backfield for Darien. And Cornelius' kick is up. And we are underway here at the stadium field as John Rooney will take the ball. He's running with it, and he will get caught up by the Fairfield Prep, tackled around the 13-yard line.
It's a nice opening kickoff for Fairfield Prep.
So Darien offense getting set to go out. Sophomore quarterback Ben Rolap getting the start for Darien. Going to be exciting to get him out there. Of course, last week against Brian McMahon, we saw him and senior quarterback Declan Cunningham trading places, but you're going to see Ben Rolap head out there.
Yeah, I think Ben looked really strong last game when he was in. Getting that nice touchdown pass that got them the lead and ultimately the win.
And Rolap, one passing touchdown, 122 passing yards. Last game had an interception, of course, on the first play of that game against McMahon, but here we are underway. First play from scrimmage for the Blue Wave. And Bonner in motion. Rolap passing it out to Bonner. And he'll move it down to about the 21-yard line for the Wave. And starting defense for Fairfield Prep. On the line, Lucas Elliott, David DeLibro, and Samuel Shane. And on the linebackers, William Ford, Emmett Derby, Mason Frey, and Luke Shanahan. And then your backs, Raymond Ferranti, TJ Cirilli, John Morris, and Oliver Frick. Of course, we've seen John Morris, the safety, on the running game as well for Fairfield Prep. And Rolap and Shelton in the backfield. Rolap faking it off to Shelton. He will find the 6'8", Kevin Roche. Flag will be thrown, though, as he's tackled down around the 32-yard line. And it looks like that one's going to be going back for the Wave.
Yeah. It's like holding.
And your Wave stars, of course, Getty, Zengo, Strebel, Stewart, and Davenport anchoring the line. And then wide receivers Will Bonner, Luke Caesar, running back Clifton Shelton, Connor Lane, and the big tight end, Kevin Roche.
Other than the penalty, I like those first two plays from Darien, using those short, quick passes that we talked about in the pregame show that worked very well for them last week, and getting that offense going. It's McMahon.
Yeah, so it's a penalty on Darien. Looks like it was holding, and that will move them back 10 yards. So Darien roll up, fakes it to Shelton, and he will find Kevin Roche as he's tackled about 27-yard line. He's got the first down for the Wave.
It's a nice route run by Kevin Roche there, getting the separation and just using his size to snag that ball out of the air. And it's a nice throw by
Kevin Roche, the junior tight end, one of the most highly anticipated players for this year. Of course, he was found not in that game against McMahon. The McMahon defense was all over him, double teaming him, but seen him so far get some early action. Roll app. He hands it off to Clifton Shelton. And he will be swallowed up around midfield, only getting about a gain of half a yard. Of course, Darien senior captain Clifton Shelton, the running back, was back up to Jake Wilson last year, had a touchdown last game, and
It's a nice pressure there from Fairfield. Getting the knockdown, now letting Darien get rid of that ball quickly.
it's a 3rd and 10 for the Wave. Big third down for Darien, their first one of the day.
Darien only 2 for 9 third downs last week. Let's see if they have a little more success here, but this one's going to be a tricky one.
Roll app, getting under pressure. And he looks like he will find Will Bonner, but will be short of the first down, and the Darien punt team will come out to punt the football.
It's a nice defensive stop.
Yeah, Will Bonner swallowed up by number 15, Luke Shanahan, on the defensive back for Fairfield Prep. And now we will see the Darien punter Anson Sikora punting it away on 4th and 11. And punter answered Sikora, returner Emmett Crotty, and Sikora's punt goes short, and we'll be going around.
It's a nice roll for Darien. I can't believe that was not blocked. It looked like he had him.
And Briggs McGuckin there to touch it. And now the Fairfield Prep Jesuits offense coming out, led by senior quarterback Tyler Smith, QB1 this season. A very versatile player, had 264 passing yards against Greenwich, and will be a big threat for this Darien defensive team.
Yeah, he showed a lot in these first 2 games with over 250 yards in each game, and he is definitely an explosive player with explosive wide receivers out on the edge. Will definitely be key for Darien to put pressure on him and get him uncomfortable in the pocket.
And so Tyler Smith's passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns on the year, 538 passing yards in only 2 games. Very versatile player. And Smith going in, trying to find a big pass, and just out of the reach of the Fairfield Prep wide receiver.
Yeah, Darien definitely does not want to have that happen. We got to stay with these receivers because they will, once they get the ball, and if they have open field, they will just.
That was number 81 for Fairfield Prep, Kyler Robinson. Of course, had an explosive game against the Greenwich Cardinals, and your starting lineup for the Blue Wave, Barber, Gately, Hagan, and Kaiser on the defensive line, and linebackers McGarren, Curtis, and DeGraff. And on the back, Ryan O'Malley, senior captain Briggs McGuckin, senior captain Ryan Gerlamo, and veteran cornerback Morgan Rupenstein. Smith with it, and he will hand it off. So number 22, Jack Davis, the running back junior, and he'll only get there for, looks like about a gain of 1 or 2.
It's good pressure getting through those blocks by Darien, stopping them for a loss in the backfield.
And your starting offense for Fairfield Prep Jesuits, John Butler, Silk, Taniak, Fitzsimmons, and Mashad on Fairfield Prep O-line. And then Finbar, Malloy, Black, Davis, Robinson, and Harwick, all on that very dominant offensive unit for the Jesuits. And Smith with it. Under pressure, he'll take it himself. missed tackle there, and Smith will just easily run out of bounds for the first down.
Yeah, what people might forget with over 500 yards on the year, that Smith can really run the ball as well. He can make nice moves in open space, and he definitely showed that there on that play.
Yeah,
evading the
Smith with
pressure.
only 11 rushing yards on the year, and right there he just about doubled it. So they're going to have to watch out for that running game on both the running back's end and the quarterback's end.
Mhm.
Smith with it, high snap, and he will hand it off. And whistle will be blown down by, again, that was number 22, Jack Davis. And not getting too much gain on that play.
Yeah, not too much gain, but you see how powerful a running back he can be. Kept his legs churning, and he will never give up on a play, and that'll definitely help. He can get a nice push from his teammates as well.
Smith and Davis in the backfield. Smith, he will hand it off to Davis. He has a lane, and he will go to about the 38-yard line where he is tackled out, and another Jesuits first down.
Yeah, that was great blocking up front, creating that hole for to slip right through and take the open field.
And that's the number 7 for Darien Ryan Gerlamo on that tackle. He had really great defensive stats last year. Also has great defensive stats this year. Had an interception against Brian McMahon and a lot of tackles on the defensive side.
Yeah, he's definitely a very impactful player on defense that Darien definitely likes to see.
So Johnny Fay, the linebacker, subbing in for Darien. Smith with it. Fakes the handoff. And he will find Kyler Robinson at the first down marker.
It's a nice route by Robinson, coming back to the quarterback there, and creating space between him and his defender, and a good quick release.
Yeah, heavy tackle there from the Darien defense. Looks like that was Ryan Gerlamo all over him, but of course Kyler Robinson there to make another first down for the Jesuits. And some talking going on Fairfield Prep sideline, getting their play ready. Smith with it. Quick pass. And a quick pass from Smith. Looks like he was finding his tight end on that one.
Yeah, it looks like Darien's trying to bring the pressure here early on. I think Fairfield Prep is getting in that notion and trying to get these quick passes out.
So that was number 18, Connor Harwick for the Fairfield Prep Jesuits. And again, they keep moving the ball down into the Darien defensive zone. And Smith with it in motion, trying to find his wide receiver and throw too low. That was going to number 4, Finbar Malloy. The explosive Finbar Malloy, as we should say it.
Yes, exactly. He had an amazing game last week and really was a star player in that Daniel Hand game despite the loss, with 240 yards receiving and an average of 14.1 per catch.
It was a Finbar Malloy, the junior, 3 touchdowns on the year, on the season, 240 yards in the air from Tyler Smith. And Prep going 4 wideouts on this one. Smith, again in the backfield, being heavily pressured. And ball will be loose. And it looks like that will be recovered by the Blue Wave.
That is a huge turnover for Darien. As Fairfield Prep was really marching down the field there, knocking on the door of the red zone. So to get that turnover off a nice hit
Great hit. It looks like Liam Calabro was there. Liam Calabro, huge turnover. And the big opportunity for Darien. They went on the punt on their first drive. Now they have another opportunity on offense. What do you think we're going to see?
I think we're going to see them try to still stick to their game plan, still stick to those short passes. They can't commit penalties in this drive because that really set them back on the first couple plays there. And I think if they do that, they'll be able to get into rhythm here and drive down the field.
So Ben Rolap back out for Darien. Going with 3 wideouts and Clifton Shelton in the backfield. Rolap handing it off to Shelton. And he will get swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. Shelton, of course, had a great run game against the Senators last week and has been pretty much silent this entire game against that heavy Jesuits defensive line.
Yeah, having a little trouble getting that running game going here, but I think if they keep working at it, something will give and they'll be able to find the gaps, make the blocks.
Rolap. Short toss off. Ryan Gerlamo. And he will go out of bounds. Of course, Ryan Gerlamo, the versatile player, wide receiver and defense. We have seen him on the offensive side, and there's another one right there. Rolap connecting to Gerlamo.
Yeah, he's a running back, but he can really also catch nicely out of the backfield, and especially they like to use him a lot on those screens. Unfortunately, that time, Fairfield Prep saw it coming, it looks like, and were able to wrap him for only a gain of 2.
It's a 3rd and 8 for Darien here. Huge 3rd down. They're 0-1 on 3rd downs. Rolap being pressured by Prep. Rolap's going to take it himself, and he will be tackled out of bounds. It looks like he will just be short of the 1st down marker.
Yeah, that's a really nice run by Rolap, getting out of the pressure and making the move downfield to get Darien within 1 yard here, but it looks like they will be bringing on the punt unit.
Anthony Dorsey there to make the tackle for Fairfield Prep, and again, we will see punter Anson Sikora to put it away.
And another 3 and out for Darien. It's definitely not what they plan to start off with here, especially after the turnover, and that'll help Fairfield Prep get the momentum back on their side.
So Sikora with it, and a short punt going out of bounds. And a very tough kick, and Fairfield Prep will get possession on Darien's 40-yard line.
Yeah, again, they're just getting pressure on those punts, and they got pretty lucky with the last one to get the last one through. But this time, looks like either the pressure got to Sikora and wasn't able to get the right kickoff.
So Prep will take over on the Darien 39-yard line. Another 1st down opportunity for Prep. And we've seen how good this Prep offense has been. Darien defense going to need to get that extra momentum to be able to stop this heavy offense from the Jesuits.
Yeah, those 3 and outs definitely also don't help your defense. Don't give them enough rest on the sideline, especially after they did so much there for the offense the
Smith
first drive.
Going with it, long throw. And right by the 1st down marker, he finds his target, Finbar Malloy.
That's a great catch. Just going up and grabbing it, high pointing the ball.
Yeah, high throw by Smith. And Finbar Malloy right there to reel it in, evading the Darien defense. Of course, Finbar Malloy, probably the best wide receiver on this Fairfield Prep team we've seen so far this season. And Darien's going to have to really increase their defensive backs and just overall maintain different formations to try to get Tyler Smith not throwing to Finbar Malloy.
Yeah, I think they're trying to do that now, as we've seen in the first couple of drives here, by bringing a lot of pressure on Smith. But, of course, the worry with that is if the offensive line picks up the pressure well and Malloy gets in the secondary, there's really no one back to help out the defensive backs, and they could just go right over them with his speed.
So it looks like they are measuring the ball, seeing how close to the marker they are.
Looks like he's a little short there, and he'll be second down.
And so it looks like they are going to call Jesuits a little short of that marker. So 2nd and 1. Smith with it. Short pass off, finding Harwick. And again, he'll be tackled by the line of scrimmage.
It's a good tackle in space.
So Girolamo again with that tackle. High-powered guy on this defensive back line for Darien, and Fairfield Prep needing to talk over a crucial 3rd and short. Smith with it, being heavily pressured by Darien, evades a couple tackles, and he will throw it away. Liam Calabro all over that one for Darien, along with many other Darien defenders.
It's a nice job staying alive and getting it away, but I wonder if they're going to get him for intentional grounding there. And it looks like they do, and it's going to be a loss of down.
Yeah, so intentional grounding penalty for the Jesuits, and they will move that ball back. You see on that play from Darien, Ben Curtis, Liam Calabro, big players on this Darien defense, putting pressure on Tyler Smith, a trend that Darien's going to need to have going later into this game.
Yeah, it looks like that's something they definitely want to be doing in this game, and it looks like they've had a lot of success so far in these first couple of drives on defense here.
So Smith with it 2nd and long for the Jesuits. Smith handing it off. And both teams fighting for the tackle. Again, Jack Davis being caught up by those Darien defenders.
Davis doing a nice job keeping those legs moving and trying to push it to contact.
So Prep will now have 3rd and 20. Huge 3rd down for the Jesuits. 3rd and long. We haven't seen them have a 3rd and long this entire game yet. Let's see what head coach Keith Hellstern's plan is for their offense.
Yeah, these are definitely the situations that Darien wants to force Prep in, just like they did with McMahon, and that's part of the reason for their defensive success last week.
Smith with it. Has time, long throw, and that will be intercepted by Girolamo. Girolamo running with it. He keeps going, and he will be pushed out of bounds. And another defensive turnover for the Jesuits.
Yeah, Girolamo, again, having a huge impact on this game, just as he did last week, and he's definitely a player that Darien loves, and it's just pushing Darien here.
So Fairfield Prep Jesuits, Tyler Smith looking for Finbar Malloy, but Ryan Girolamo read that play perfectly, and a seamless interception for the Blue Wave defense.
See how the offense responds to this.
And you're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. So glad you could be with us. Liam Thomas-Duski, Thomas Aponte at the DHS Stadium Field. And Ben Rolap back out there for the Wave. Has his wide receivers out. Rolap hands a fake handoff, and he will find Kevin Roche, who will get about to the 45-yard line.
Again, another nice route there, and another good throw, putting in a position where only Roche can catch it there by Rolap.
Using all that height and strength to his advantage. And Roche going to be one of the big players for this Darien offense at the tight end spot. He can block, he can catch, and that's the formula that Darien needs. Rolap, taking the handoff to Shelton. He will take it himself, and he will be taken down by the Prep defense.
Looks like there was almost a little confusion there from Rolap.
And that was number 3, TJ Cirilli on the tackle, with many other Prep defenders getting in there. It looks like there was some misconfusion with handing it off to running back Clifton Shelton. Not sure if that's what they were attempting to do with the play action pass, but
Yeah, I wonder if he was just trying to read what the defenders were doing there, maybe see if you should hand it off or take it off himself. Ultimately, looks like they just got pressure across the whole across the whole line of scrimmage.
oh, Rolap handing it off to Clifton Shelton, not getting too much, maybe a gain of 3 or 4.
Darien not really helping themselves out so far, putting themselves in a lot of 3rd and longs here. Got to be able to gain more positive yardage on 1st and 2nd down.
Rolap with it, short pass. He finds Luke Caesar, the running back, who will be taken down around the 50. Nice short gain for Luke Caesar, but bringing up another 3rd down for the Wave. Excuse me, 4th down for the Wave, 4th down and 5. Another 4th down attempt we'll see with head coach Andy Grant.
Yeah, it looks like
do on this play.
Darien's in a little bit of no man's land here, and the punting game it's been struggling here. So with this 4th and 5, we'll see how they draw this one up.
We'll see if they're just going to try to draw them off sides as that play clock is running down. And Darien will take their first timeout in this first quarter, trying to get the Fairfield Prep Jesuits off sides, but failing to do so, so they will take their timeout. And what do you think's going on in the huddle right now? Do you think they're going to go for it, or do you think that Darien's going to be back on the punt game?
Since they called the timeout, I think they might be talking about going for it here. If they really were just trying to draw them off sides, and I think they would have taken the delay of game to try to just take the 5 yards and then take the punt.
Last week, head coach Andy Grant aggressive on those 4th downs nonetheless. Going for it, of course, on that 4th and 21. Ben Rolap finding Connor Lane, which put Darien ahead against the Brian McMahon Senators. So it looks like Darien will be going with the punt on this one. And Sikora getting ready for the punt. Of course, had that short punt last time. Darien going to need to stop the pressure of the Jesuits, and Sikora with it. And he will boot it. And that one will go. Picked up by the Jesuits. And will be forced out of bounds at around the 20. So that was caught by number 2, Cooper Callahan, for the Jesuits.
Much better job there, stopping that pressure from Fairfield Prep from getting to Sikora and giving him more time to just make the punt that they need to switch the field here.
A great tackle by senior safety Bennett Kramer. You take a look at it on our sideline camera. And perfect tackle to get him out of bounds. This is Jesuits offense huddling up. So Tyler Smith with it. And Jack Davis in the backfield. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Smith handing it off to Davis. And swallowed up by the Darien defense.
Both teams here early on having trouble to get their running games going, and it will definitely be an advantage for whoever gets it going first. But I think that's something Darien's going to be able to stop based on how they're playing so far with a lot of pressure up front. Not too many people, not too many safeties back.
And we will go to the end of quarter 1. In this one, both tied 0-0, and we're going to send that down to our field reporter. And excuse me, we will just be end of quarter one here. 0-0 your score, and we'll be back in the DAF Media Network for the beginning of the second quarter of play at DHS Stadium Field. And back here live on the DAF Media Network, going to get a quick sideline reporter, Owen Heffron, with sideline on quarter one.
So a defensive showout from these two squads to start this game. I was on the Darien sideline for that entire first quarter, and the energy is electric. Game faces as far as the eye can see. Both student sections getting into it. It's a blackout here at the Darien High School field, and this team is ready to play. Fairfield Prep looking to start the second quarter with the ball. Should be a good one for the second quarter. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Owen. And of course, we just saw that Fairfield Prep play long throw by Tyler Smith. And they will get a 3rd and 12 in this one.
Nice job by Darien, not letting receiver Black get behind them there and staying home. Fairfield is definitely a team that can hurt them with the big plays.
Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith and Jack Davis in the backfield. Smith looking for a short pass, finding Malloy. And Malloy trying to evade the Darien defense. And will get tackled down at around the 26.
It's a nice defensive stand there by Darien. I think their first 3 and out there for the Jesuits. And it's a good step in the right direction after Fairfield Prep seemed to be able to move the ball down the field.
And Fairfield Prep punting the ball away. Number 7, Emmett Derby, the punter. Derby, short snap, and he'll punt it up, deep kick. And being returned, Rooney not there. Picked up by the Jesuits at around the 31-yard line.
Nice job by Derby there, handling that low snap and getting off a nice punt that will switch the field there for Fairfield Prep.
Darien offense huddling up here as they're going to get a big offensive possession. Tied 0-0. You see both of these teams' defenses have been the stars of the game.
Exactly. I think Darien really needs to try to get into their offensive rhythm here and get the ball moving down the field, because Fairfield Prep, despite it being tied, has definitely looked like the better offense, just not winning the turnover battle.
Roll-up. Far throw. He's got Roche wide open. And Roche is still going. He'll be tackled down at around the 44.
Looks like they might be adding a face mask onto that.
Yeah, so flag will be thrown. And you see on the tackle.
Maybe a horse collar.
Might be a horse collar penalty. Flag thrown definitely down at the tackle. As for Fairfield, that was number 8, John Morris, the defensive back.
Yeah, I think they just actually picked that one up after further discussion there on the far sideline.
So it looks like no penalty will be applied to that play, but nonetheless, first down for the Blue Wave. Roll-up. Short pass out. And tackled around the 36-yard line. Looks like that was senior wide receiver Will Bonner on the catch.
Another good screen from Darien, and got to give credit to their wide receivers for blocking upfield. They've been doing it a lot this season with those short screen passes. That's really been a big part of the success of those plays.
So Will Bonner injured most of last season, saw some time in some games, but has really done well in starting this season. As roll-up will start out, deep throw, trying to find Gerlamo. And throw will go out of play, or excuse me, out of range. See roll up under pressure a lot. This Darien offensive line has to evade this very dominant Fairfield Prep defensive back, or excuse me, defensive line.
Yeah, winning those battles on the line of scrimmage will definitely be important in giving roll up enough time to make those throws downfield and letting the receivers get downfield.
Roll-up and Shelton. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Roll-up. Does a fake handoff. Looks like that was number 86 for Darien.
So it was a nice shovel pass play design. I think maybe got the Prep defense caught by surprise there. And
yeah, finding Charlie Tom on the little shovel pass. We've seen that from, of course, Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes loves those shovels near in the red zone. Roll-up using his athleticism there to get that to Tom. Yeah, roll-up with it. Gets the snap. Has time. And he finds Darien, receiver. Going down, number 7, Ryan Gerlamo there to pick up a nice gain.
it's a nice job by Roll-up just standing in there. He knew he was going to take a hit there, but he stands in and takes a shot in order to deliver that pass and gain some good yardage there on first down.
So second. Roll-up with the 3 receivers to his left and hands it off to Clifton Shelton. And he's still going, or excuse me, hands it off to Ryan Gerlamo. Gerlamo running with it, getting close to that first down marker. It looks like the ball was loose down on the ground. But looks like the refs will just mark him down.
Yeah, it looks like.
You take another look at it. Gerlamo swallowed up by the Jesuits defense. And it looks like the referees will just call him being down.
Yeah, it seemed like his knee hit the ground before that ball came out.
So first down for Darien on the 22-yard line. Darien getting into that red zone play and needing a big offensive drive on this one.
So far, they're moving the ball up nicely here.
Roll-up. Quick little fake pass, and he will be taken down by the Jesuits. That was number 8, John Morris. Take another look at it. All right there. And we'll put roll-up down in 2nd and 10.
It's a nice job getting off the block there and getting around to the quarterback because it looked like he had maybe some open receivers downfield.
Low-scoring affair in this one. Roll-up, hands it off, finding Luke Caesar. And Caesar going, flag will be thrown. Will be thrown by the offensive line. And roll-up knowing, I think, that was a holding call going to be on Darien.
So far, a lot of offensive penalties from Darien that have really not been helping them in moving the ball down the field. A lot of good plays being taken away and moved back 10 yards.
Yeah, so we'll be holding on Darien. They will be moving back 10 yards. Still second down for the Wave, but puts them in a big second down play right here. Darien getting ready. Roll-up and Shelton in the backfield. Roll-up, taking the handoff to Shelton. Low throw. Looks like he was targeting number 4, Luke Caesar on that one, but could not complete. It puts Darien in a situation of 3rd and very long.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they have in the playbook for it looks like about 3rd and 27 here.
The roll-up had Caesar open on that one, but just could not get the target on it. And roll-up with it. Talking to his guys. Two receivers on both sides, Shelton in the backfield. Rolap. He's just going to take it himself, and he's hustling down, and will be taken down by Fairfield Prep. Number 47, Jordan Lewis on the defensive line there to make the tackle.
That's good awareness in the pocket there from Rolap. Seeing that you have the open space upfield. Just making sure that he protects the ball so they have an opportunity here on 4th down to go for it.
And so Rolap there, taking it himself, 4th and 16. A do or die moment for Darien. With about 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Rolap under pressure, and he will be taken down by the Jesuits. Number 93, Samuel Shane, the sophomore, there to make the sack.
Yeah, it's huge for Fairfield Prep, pushing them back even further and getting better field position than if it was just an incomplete pass.
And so a necessary moment for Darien to go for it in that offensive territory. But now the Jesuits have the ball at about the halfway point, and with just under 7 minutes to go, they can make a nice drive here.
Yeah, they've been moving the ball really well. They just have to finish their drives with 2 costly turnovers down near the red zone.
So Prep will get the ball on the 38-yard line. Tyler Smith. Smith and Davis in the backfield. Smith in motion. And he finds nobody.
Darien arguing for a intentional grounding. I think they're going to get it here.
And
so
yeah,
no
flag will be
receivers.
thrown. So intentional grounding on the Jesuits, and they will be moving back.
Second one of the day for QB Smith there.
And the second intentional grounding call on Smith this game. Of course, there was no Fairfield Prep wide receiver or receiver in anywhere in that area.
Yeah, and those penalties are really created by defensive pressure and forcing Smith to get the ball out as quickly as possible and not really having time to look to see where his receivers are and just making sure he doesn't throw an interception.
You know, Fairfield Prep offense this game has been relatively good, but I mean, looking at their standings, they're last in the SEC Tier 1, a dominant conference in the state of Connecticut, as Tyler Smith will be evading the Darien defense. Flag will be thrown, and it looks like that one will be intercepted, but of course the flag thrown. Darien Briggs McGuckin with the interception, celebrating it.
That's a great jump on the route, and it looks like it might be offensive holding, so this play might stand here.
Yeah, so Briggs McGuckin all over that ball, saw where Tyler Smith was aiming. And Keith Hellstern for Fairfield Prep will have a word with the referees on what that call is going to stand.
If this interception stands, it's another huge turnover for Darien, and this is exactly what they want to be doing on defense, winning the turnover battle. They just need their offense to now show up on this drive.
And the Darien offense will be running out. And it looks like the interception will stand. The second interception on the day for the Wave defense. And really the defensive unit for the Wave doing well, led by defensive coordinator Dave Brennan for the Wave. Making those smart play calls that we didn't see against the Brian McMahon Standards. They've been making those very necessary adjustments here.
Yeah, you can definitely see great improvement over just 1 week.
So it looks like we'll get a new quarterback change. Quarterback Declan Cunningham coming out. Flag will be thrown immediately. And it looks like that penalty will be on Fairfield Prep.
Second offside, it's going to give him 5 yards there.
So the quarterback change on that one. Declan Cunningham immediately running with it. Looks like that was in Darien's playbook to go with the quarterback hurry.
Yeah, Declan, as we saw last game, he rushed for a touchdown versus McMahon, and he's definitely a strong runner who gets his shoulder down. And
so Cunningham still out there for the Wave with Shelton in the backfield. 3 receivers to his left. Cunningham with it. Handing it off to Gerlamo. And Gerlamo will run with it. He will get about 6. And we'll put up a second and a little short for Darien.
Nice move there by Guillermo. Just get an extra couple yards there and make this 2nd and short. We'll see. It'll be interesting to see if Darien tries to take a shot here on this 2nd and short. This is probably 4-down territory for them.
2nd and 3 for the Wave in great field position here, going towards the near end of this first half. Cunningham under pressure. He's just going to take it himself, but will be taken down by the Prep defense. Looks like the ball might be loose.
Yeah, looks like he might have gotten stripped there, but
Fairfield Prep student section celebrating on the other sideline. Taking a look at, yeah, the ball definitely loose. And that one will be clearly picked up by number 93, Samuel Shane. And a huge turnover for the Jesuits.
yeah, that's huge. Huge turnover to get their momentum back, and which really just kills that Darien drive there.
So a big turnover. We've seen turnovers on the defensive, and pretty much this game has just been a defensive battle for both of these squads. Haven't seen much on offense court to score. Still 0-0.
Yeah, maybe something that we expected from Darien, but maybe didn't expect so much from Fairfield Prep as they let up over 30 points against each of their last 2 opponents.
Smith with it. Deep 5 ball, trying to find Malloy. And will be caught up by Morgan Rupenstein on the corner.
Again, nice coverage from Darien there.
Watching this game on the DAF Media Network, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. So glad you could be with us, Liam Tomaszewski, Thomas Aponte. And we have a great game here under the lights at Darien High School. Now Darien getting ready. Fairfield Prep 2nd and 10. Smith with it. Getting pressured, finds a short ball. It was number 2 wide receiver Cooper Callahan bringing it in for the Jesuits. And it looks like that would be about a gain of 5 or 6.
Nice job by Smith seeing the check down there and getting it. Callahan in open field for him to make a good pickup to make this a much more 3rd and manageable for the Jesuits.
And so 3rd and short for the Jesuits. And a huge 3rd down for them in this first half, trying to make that offensive push. And we're going to need one good play from the Jesuits here for offensive coordinator Zachary Thomas. Smith with it. Finding his receiver, number 17, Parker Chapman, the wide receiver, and the Jesuits move the chains.
It's a nice job on the route by Chapman there, finding the space in the Darien defense. They played pretty conservatively there. Maybe a little scared of the big play that the Jesuits definitely have.
So Smith with it. Chapman in motion. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to his left. Jesuits talking it over. Malloy in motion. Smith handing it off to number 2, Cooper Callahan on the wide receiver rush, and we'll probably only gain about a gain of 1.
Again, another rush for pretty much no gain there for the Jesuits. They're having a lot of trouble getting this run game going as well as Darien.
This Darien defense been the star of the show here at the stadium field. Darien defense playing excellent in the defensive coverage and on the defensive line. Smith getting ready with it. Finds a ball, quick pass out of the hands of Connor Harwick. And pass will be incomplete. And we'll bring up a 3rd and 11 for the Jesuits. You see right under, throw was a little low between the legs of senior tight end Connor Harwick.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate incompletion there for the Jesuits. So would have made this 3rd down easier, but I wonder if maybe they have going for it 4th down in their mind. We'll see what they do here on 3rd down. They might get it anyway.
So a big 3rd down for the Jesuits, 3rd and 11. Smith in the backfield finding Harwick. Harwick wide open. And Harwick will be taken down at about the 20. And a huge conversion on third down from the Jesuits.
It's a great run by Harwick down the seams, getting behind the linebackers of Darien, making himself open for Smith to see him and pick up a big first down that puts the Jesuits just off the edge of the red zone.
Mr. Connor Harwick only had 1 reception, 2 yards on the season so far. In this game, huge gain from him. Smith with it. Short throw out to Davis, and that will be incomplete. And I just want to give one quick shout out to the Darien establishment playing this game in their restaurant, Rico's Pizza of Darien. Giving you guys a quick shout out. Thank you guys for supporting the DAF Media Network and supporting the Darien Blue Wave football team as a whole. And it will be 2nd and 10 for the Jesuits.
Davis definitely frustrated after that drop. You see him banging his helmet, because he knew he could have had at least a few yards there and could have put Jesuits in the red zone here.
So Tyler Smith with it. Darien in motion in the defense. And it looks like Darien will use their 2nd of their timeouts. Big timeout here after the huge play by Connor Harwick. And what do you think they're going to do in this timeout huddle?
I think they're going to just make sure their defense is shored up here. It gets a little easier to defend as things get a little more compact in the red zone for the offense, but I think this is definitely a slightly scary situation for Darien. Let's see if they maybe can come out with another massive turnover, or if the Jesuits can capitalize on this opportunity.
It's a huge opportunity from the Jesuits here. Darien talking it over. And the Jesuits, of course, thinking it over with their offensive coordinator and coach, Keith Hellstern. And late, with just under 5 minutes left to go in this second quarter of play. Tyler Smith with it. And Cooper Callahan in the backfield. Receivers to his left and right. Smith. High fly ball to Malloy. And it'll be intercepted, it looks like.
Looks like Gerlarmo again.
Ryan Gerlamo. Let's take another look at it. Deep throw looking for Malloy. And Gerlamo will pull it in the end zone. Huge play by the Darien defense.
Wow, I mean, that's incredible. 4 turnovers already on the day. 2 for Gerlarmo, 2 interceptions. That's a huge stop there for Darien. Once again, as the Jesuits fail to convert on another opportunity down in the final third of the field.
A tidal wave change for the Blue Wave as they bring out their offensive unit in another pursuit of trying to get on the scoreboard.
Now it almost feels like a must for the offense to come away with something here on this drive.
Declan Cunningham, the quarterback, bringing it out. Of course, we saw the fumble by him last drive, but let's see what this Blue Wave offense can do. Cunningham gets the ball. Throw, finding Luke Caesar, incomplete. Throw was out of range of Caesar's hands.
Looks like the ball might have been tipped on the line. Yeah, it was. And number 3, TJ Cirilli, sorry.
And so TJ Cirilli breaking up that pass to Cunningham and Gerlamo. Or excuse me, Cunningham and Caesar. Cunningham taking it himself, running up the middle, and he will slide down. Big run by Cunningham. We've seen him on the legs a lot, of course, in the McMahon game. Had a rushing touchdown, so using that speed to his advantage.
Yeah, he definitely seems very comfortable evading the pressure and running it out of the pocket into open space. As he makes that, on that run, he makes it a much more manageable third down for Darien here.
Oh, Cunningham with it. He gets the ball. Throwing it quick out, little throw to Charlie Tom. And Tom will be stopped
That's a great job by Tom, keeping his legs moving, fighting through the contact to make sure that he gains that first down. It looked like he might have been wrapped up there initially.
Another first down for the Blue Wave offense as they move the chains. And I mean, they have to keep their eye on the clock. 4 minutes, still a lot of time in football. But Darien, I think their goal, obviously their main goal is to get a score, but to really show that they're here to win this game.
Yeah, I think their goal on this drive will be to use as much time as possible and end it with a touchdown, because that'll be a big step in going into the half with a 7-0 lead.
So Cunningham with it, the Darien offense talking it over. Cunningham fakes a handoff again, finding Kevin Roche for a big gain, and another Darien Blue Wave first down.
Another great catch by Kevin Roche there.
Roche using all that height. And Roche been one of the main targets in this game against the Jesuits. Both Rolap and Cunningham using him as a prime target.
Definitely making himself present up the field, which is really helping the Darien offense out, which is moving the ball.
Oh, Cunningham and Shelton. Cunningham, another play action pass. And he will take it himself, but will be toppled down by the Fairfield Prep Jesuits defenders.
Yeah, smart decision by Cunningham there. He really didn't have anything on the rollout.
Number 9, Mason Frey, making that tackle to take down Cunningham. And Darien will get about a gain of 5 on that one. At the 50-yard line. You're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. So glad you could be with us. Darien, of course, in their blackout black jerseys. Of course, they wear these pretty much only on these Friday night light games. A tradition nonetheless. Cunningham. Fake pass. We'll hand it off to Clifton Shelton for a nice big gain.
A solid 4-yard run by the Darien offense there, as it'll leave them third and very short here.
So it looks like it'll be about 3rd and 1 for the Wave. Lining up players on that line of scrimmage. Cunningham handing it off to Shelton. And looks like Shelton will be really short of that first down marker.
Yeah, it looks like Darien tried to speed up the time between their plays there and try to catch Fairfield Prep defense
Actually
offside.
looking at that replay, it looks like that ball, I don't know if we take a look at it again, it looks like Shelton crossed that ball over that 45-yard line.
I don't think he's going to get it, though.
I don't know if the refs are going to spot it a little short. So nonetheless, a close play. Just a little over a minute left to go. 4th and 1. Huge play from the Blue Wave here. Cunningham. Yeah, will we see the quarterback hurry? This Blue Wave talking it over. It's now under a minute left to go until halftime.
Wonder if they're just trying to run up a little
Running
more
out
clock
some
here,
clock.
just in case they don't get it. Don't want to give Fairfield Prep too much time to get back down the field.
So Cunningham with the play. High snap. Taking it himself. And he will get the first down. Declan Cunningham using all that speed. And he will move the chains for Darien.
It's a nice job getting around the defender there on the edge.
So Cunningham, you take another look at it, evading those Jesuits defenders, and he will give Darien another first down. So Cunningham. Long ball. And it looks like that will be caught. Oh! Caught by number 15, Connor Lane, but looks like that'll just slip out of his hands at the last second.
Yeah, it looks like he just couldn't hang on to that one as he hit the ground there.
Yeah, Connor Lane caught it, but just dropping that ball going on the down. And, you know, we saw Connor Lane last week, one of the great players for Darien, caught that touchdown with that foot in the end zone.
Yeah, that was
Huge
an
play.
amazing catch on 4th and 21 there.
You know,
That
both
ultimately-
teams talking about it.
Darien still has 1 timeout left. So they can still use the middle of the field here on this play and then set themselves up for a shot there on the last play.
Cunningham with it. In motion. Evading the Jesuit defenders. He's taken it himself for a nice carry. And looks like he will get about a gain of 6 or 7.
Darien will take their final timeout here. Talk over this last play. Try to draw something up for a final shot to the end zone here.
So timeout taken by the Blue Wave. And big moment coming up for the Wave with just 2 seconds left on the play clock. Both these teams figuring out what they need to do. Is 0-0 ball game. And a very big timeout from Darien trying to see to get that one last play into the end zone.
Yeah, we'll definitely see a three-man defense of some sort, right? The Jesuits. Darien will try to use the height of the receivers and tight ends there. So they're going to bring Rollout back in here.
And so Ben Rolap coming in for one last play by the Blue Wave. 3rd down and 3. Ben Rolap coming in for quarterback Declan Cunningham. And the big spot here for the Wave. One last play.
Definitely can't take a sack here. Got to get rid of it.
Rolap. One last play for Darien. Fly ball deep. And
looks like that one will be
nonetheless will be
accepted.
Incomplete. So 0-0 going into halftime. And very big play by Darien, but will be incompleted. And what'd you see going into the halftime very quickly?
We saw 2 great defenses coming out here to play, with Darien getting 4 turnovers here. I think their defense will be really happy here going into the half, but their offense needs to definitely step it up here. On Fairfield Prep side, they're going to need to figure out how to finish drives there with 4 costly turnovers and really bad spots on the field.
And then we're going to hear it from Darien head coach Andy Grant with their sideline reporter Owen Heffron.
I'm here with first-year head coach for the Darien Blue Wave, Andy Grant. Coach, defensive show out in that first half, but 4 takeaways for your team. What are some offensive changes, or what did you like on defense so far in that first half?
Yeah, defensively, we've made big plays when we needed to. They've gotten down deep a couple times. We've really changed up the coverages a couple times. It's been great. Offensively, we look to move the ball around. We've had some success moving the quarterback in the pocket. We just got to kind of keep finding our big play guys, get the run game established, and hopefully the second half we can knock one down.
Are we going to see a little flip-flop of Declan and Ben Rolap in the game for the second half?
Yeah, so they've been going back and forth every 2 or 3 drives the entire year. You'll continue to see that in the second half.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Coach. Thank you for your time.
All right, so thank you, Owen, and hearing from Andy Grant. And 0-0 going into halftime here between the Darien Blue Wave and the Fairfield Prep Jesuits, and we'll be back just right after halftime.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police dropped a gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. In regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and they offered to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
And back here live on the DAF Media Network, Liam Tomaszewski, Thomas Aponte here. And Thomas, what did you see out of both these teams in the first half?
I think we saw a lot of fight out of both teams, which we expected fully. A lot of great defense from both sides today, and that'll be something that they'll both look to continue, but they both need to figure out their offensive game plan here, and they both need to figure out how to finish drives and just convert on big opportunities that their defense has given them.
Yeah, so the score is 0-0. We saw a lot of heavy defense from the Blue Wave and the Jesuits, and the offensive powers are going to have to get going. And what do you think between Darien switching out their quarterbacks and trying to maintain different offensive possessions?
I think Darien's just trying to see what works for them. It's been something they've been doing all year so far. I think both quarterbacks are more than capable of creating a good offense for the team, and it'll be interesting to see who they start here in the second half and if they bring in the other one to continue it on.
And of course here, heavy defense and offense by both of these teams. Jesuits going to come into this quarter needing a lot of momentum after having great offensive plays, but the Darien defense has been very dominant in that first half. So coming out of halftime, we will see what both these teams can do. And overall, the atmosphere at the Darien High School is great, but we are going to send it down to Owen Heffron to interview the Fairfield Prep head coach, Keith Hellstern. And just awaiting Owen Heffron, our field reporter. And the electric atmosphere as the Blue Wave football team is getting ready to come out. And we were here from Owen Heffron with Keith Hellstern.
I'm here with Fairfield Prep head coach Keith Hellstern. We're going to talk to him about the game. 0-0 game going in the second half, defensive shutout. What'd you talk to your team inside the locker room?
Just better execution in the second half, playing clean football, making the most of every opportunity we have, and we know it's going to be a hard-fought game straight through the game.
No points scored, but no points allowed. Always a good sign. Thank you for your time, Coach. It's been a pleasure. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much.
There's the Fairfield head coach Keith Hellstern in his 9th season, 55-26 on his career, of course, being with Fairfield Prep as offensive coordinator, defense coordinator. He was a strength and conditioning coach as well, so has a lot of experience with this Fairfield Prep football team.
Yeah, he definitely knows it all on all sides of the ball. It's a really good asset and good head coach for this Fairfield Prep football team.
And here we go, getting both these teams underway in the second half of play. These teams are both fired up. I mean, a nothing ball game, it can go anyway.
Yeah, and the atmosphere just getting even more exciting here as the sun is completely set now, and the lights are the only light now on the field, and the student section is being packed again and up on their feet as we start to see everyone start to file back to their seats again.
There's Fairfield Prep team doing jumping jacks, and this Blue Wave team fired up to go. Of course, we saw their defense heavy, had interceptions. There were fumbles on both sides of the ball. I mean, a defensive special, as we like to call it. So both offenses in Fairfield Prep Jesuits, Tyler Smith and Ben Rolap and Declan Cunningham are going to need to adjust to get that balance back to the offensive powers.
Yeah, they're just going to figure out how to execute on each play, how to finish each play fundamentally, as both teams have also committed a lot of penalties here that have not helped them in their quest to move the ball down the field.
And so Fairfield Prep Jesuits will receive the second half kickoff, and they're going to make their pull for the offensive powers. It's getting a little windy here at the Darien High School Stadium field. No rain yet in the forecast. However, some dark clouds around here, but under the shining bright lights, it's football time.
It'll be interesting to see what adjustments both teams make out of the half. As we just heard from Fairfield Prep coach Keith Helstern about how they need to execute better on offense and continue to hold out on defense. I think the same pretty much goes for Darien in the 0-0 affair.
So Prep going to receive the second half kickoff. Darien kicker Anson Sikora getting ready. And getting ready underway for the third quarter of football at the stadium field. And you can hear the wind at the stadium field, and here we go. Sikora's kick is short and caught by Fairfield Prep down at about the 37-yard line.
That's a great starting point for Prep in their first drive of the second half here.
And so, again, excellent field possession for the Jesuits. Have it at about midfield. They can create some offensive opportunities here. Darien student section still packed as they're waiting just any score on the board by any of these teams.
Yeah, any score will be huge, as I feel like at this point in the game there's not going to be many of them, so every opportunity down in the final third of the field, down in the red zone, is going to count for both teams.
So Tyler Smith in the shotgun formation. Smith, short pass off to Harwick, and Harwick will be pushed out of bounds by Ryan Gerlamo.
Nice first down gain there from Jesuits on a quick pass.
Yeah, Smith finding Harwick, a trend we saw in the first half, and continuing to find that target in the tight end position.
Both tight ends making themselves a big offensive factor for both teams here.
So Smith and Davis, two receivers to his left, two to his right. Smith handing it off to Davis. Davis with a nice wide open lane. And he is still going over there. We'll get out to about the 48-yard line, and another Jesuits first down.
And finally, a really successful, positive run play for the Jesuits. Been waiting for it all through the first half, and they finally get it here on their opening drive.
Huge. We saw the running game both of Clifton Shelton and Davis for the Jesuits lacking in the first half, but so far Jack Davis has been there to put the ball in the run game for the Jesuits. Smith, again, handing it off to Davis. Davis on the run. He will get tackled at around center field, and that will be about a gain of 4.
Yeah, another nice gain there. That's all you need to keep doing, is just getting those gains of 4.
So 3-yard gain from Jack Davis, second down and 7 for the Jesuits. Both these teams again awaiting a score. Smith running out to the left pocket, and he will throw it away. He was looking for his target of Cooper Callahan on that one.
It's good to see for the Darien defense that they're able to keep up the pressure that they had on Smith in the first half. That'll be a vital part to stopping Fairfield's explosive passing offense here.
And so Darien putting the heavy pressure on that one on quarterback Tyler Smith, but him throwing it away. So another big third down conversion for the Jesuits. Smith. Receivers both to his left and right. Gets the ball in the backfield. Pressured by the Blue Wave. And he will be taken down by multiple Darien defenders. Looks like number 90, Brant Kaiser, was the first one there. Kaiser all over that tackle. And a huge third down sack from the Darien Blue Wave.
Yeah, it's going to help. Definitely help them there get their defense off the field, and it's going to set up their offense for the next drive here. We'll see what kind of field position they're going to get after this punt here.
So a punt here from the Jesuits. And punting it off. Sky punt. Rooney there awaiting it. And looked like it will be touchdown at about the 1 or 2 yard line.
Amazing punt there.
Really great job on the special team side for the Jesuits on that punt.
Yeah, they definitely looked the stronger team on special teams, both with punting themselves and also with defending against the punts from Darien and putting a lot of pressure on Darien punter Anson Sikora, which really allowed them to play the field position game in this one.
You're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. Darien in their home blackout jerseys and Fairfield Prep in their away white jerseys. It looks like Darien will have possession on their own 1 yard line. You know, we saw them have a safety against Brian McMahon's Senators last week. Cunningham out there for the wave. In the end zone, trying to evade, and will be taken down for a safety. The second safety of the year against Darien. And the Fairfield Prep Jesuits will go on the board 2-0.
Yeah, it looks like that one might have been another design QB run for Cunningham, but unfortunately the hole never opened up for him, and the pocket just collapsed on him. That's a huge first scoring play for.
Yes, of course, the safety. 2 points go to Jesuits, and they will get the football back with a punt from Darien Blue Wave. So just, I mean, a game-changing play here. They had the ball at the 1 yard line. Fairfield, of course, going with the blitz, and they take down Cunningham on a huge play in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's a great job again, set up by that great punt by their special teams, and as well as just having the ability to trust your defense there to make a big play.
And so if you're Darien right now, the game just, I mean, overall, the game atmosphere just changed. If you're head coach Andy Grant, what are you talking to your guys in the huddle right there?
You're telling them to stay composed. You got to keep fighting in these situations. Their offense is struggling, but they gotta maintain faith. We've seen that they can move the ball, and for their defense, you just got to tell them to keep doing what they're doing. So far, the defense has let up 0 points, so they just got to maintain that, maintain the QB pressure, force turnovers, and I think they'll be able to get back in this one if they do that.
So Darien will be punting the ball away. Anson Sikora. Seen a lot of kicking time this game. So we see on the Blue Wave side, quarterback Ben Rolap just coming back from the locker room. Not sure if that implies anything with his overall status in the game. But nevertheless, Fairfield Prep getting it from Sikora's kick. And still running it is number 2, Cooper Callahan for the Jesuits, and they'll get nice field possession at around the 50-yard line.
Yeah, nice return there, and again, it's going to set up Jesuits in great field position. Something that they've seen all game, but have been unable to take advantage of so far. We'll see if this big momentum shift here starting the second half will give them the extra effort to push for the end zone.
Again on offense, we've seen them on offense a lot, but they haven't been able to get the ball in the end zone. So Jesuits needing some sort of spark here after that safety. Prep with it. Quarterback Tyler Smith. Smith. Short pass out. That's intercepted by the Blue Wave. That's number 6, Briggs McGuckin. And he goes in the end zone. Touchdown, Darien.
Wow, and again, another huge momentum shift by this defense, single-handedly keeping Darien in this one.
Briggs McGuckin, the senior captain. Or excuse me, that's number 5, Ben Curtis, the linebacker for the Blue Wave. And he will reel that in for a Darien TD. Ben Curtis, the junior linebacker, saw that play happen right there for it. And a beautiful pick 6 from the Blue Wave, and they will go up 6-2. So Anson Sikora lining up for the PAT. A game-changing play here at the stadium field. Sikora 100% on PAT attempts. And that one will go up. And 7-2 Blue Wave in a huge play on the defensive side.
Yeah, that really got the crowd back in this one, as we can hear the band and hear all the cheering and cowbells. Let's see if Darien can continue to make those defensive stops, those defensive big plays. I think that's on their 5th turnover on the day, and so far, that's going to be huge. That's going to be huge in seeing out this win.
Okay, so Darien going up 7-2. Again, the defensive side of Darien has pretty much been the star players of this game so far, and we'll see what the Fairfield Prep the Fairfield Prep offense can do after that big play.
Be interesting to see how Fairfield Prep responds here on offense. We haven't seen too many big shots down the field, but maybe as they get a little bit desperate for some big offensive production, I wonder if they're going to try to get those big plays in, especially if Darien tries to bring the pressure and doesn't leave too many men back in the secondary.
Yeah, Darien not one to left. Still a lot of time left for this football game, but nevertheless an early score for Darien in the 3rd quarter and puts them up by 5. Sikora's kick is deep and picked up by the Jesuits. Running with it. And still going, will be tackled down at about the 30-yard line. Again, number 12, Emmett Karate for the Jesuits, wide receiver, and kick returner for the Fairfield Prep Jesuits team.
Yeah, another decent return there for the Jesuits. He fights for those extra yards, as you can see at the end of the play.
So Darien going out on defense again after the pick 6. And Fairfield Prep Jesuits offense going to have to respond after that. A momentum changer at the stadium field right now. And this Darien team picking up life and energy on the sidelines.
Yeah, I feel like this game just keeps going back and forth, and it's really exciting to watch.
Now Tyler Smith with it. Short pass off to Harwick, and he will be tackled for about a gain of 3.
Yeah, they've been really liking to start off the drive there with passes to the tight end Harwick. And so far they've been working well to create good gains on 1st down, but they just got to be able to continue those on 2nd and 3rd down through different types of plays.
So 2nd and 7 for the Jesuits, of course. Tyler Smith going to Connor Harwick a lot this game. And Smith with it. 3 receivers on his left. Davis in the backfield. And definitely a false start by the Jesuits. Number 2, Cooper Callahan going really early.
Yeah, just took off well before the snap came in, and it's an easy false start there, and definitely another offensive penalty that
the Jesuits need to calm down. Getting a little giddy out there. Of course, on the jump by the wide receiver, sprinted out, but a miscommunication by the Jesuits offense, and nevertheless, they will have 2nd down and 11. So false start after the Jesuits, and a 2nd and 11. Smith handing it off to Davis, and he will be taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Nice play there. The Darien defense all over that one. Carter Hagan.
Some more great pressure in the backfield there to just continue to keep back this running game for Fairfield Prep.
Putting a lot of pressure on the Jesuits offense indeed. They're going to need very big play here. We're 3rd and long. Smith with it. 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. Takes the handoff to Davis. pressured, will be caught by Davis. Davis is still going, but will be tackled down by the Darien defense.
There's a great should have tackle there by Davis out in the field there, but fortunately Darien able to swarm him.
And so Jack Silsby, senior captain there, to put Davis to the ground, and huge tackle there by the veteran lineman. So Darien to receive the Fairfield Jesuits punt. And Girolamo back to receive the punt.
Late substitution there for Prep. Try to get 11 out on the field there.
And substitution for Prep. Darien putting pressure, but Jesuits soar this one away. Girolamo waiting for the bounce. And he will be touched. A lot of pressure on that one by number 20, Nazir Thompson. Pushing Girolamo to the side of that ball. No call will be given. And the Darien Blue Wave will get the ball at around their own 12-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like Girolamo really wanted to pick that one and take off with it, but I think he just sensed the pressure coming there. Thought better of it.
So the Darien offense trotting back out there. And again, number 17, Declan Cunningham, coming into the game for the Blue Wave. Another big opportunity for Darien to get more points on the board, but have to travel the pretty much the full length of the field in order to get any score.
Yeah, another great field position play from Prep special teams here.
Cunningham, quick pass out. The Darien receiver. Nice play out by Cunningham. Nice side toss out. And finding the receiver. Second down and 5, gain of 5 there by the Blue Wave offense.
They've been liking those screens from the running back there to start off their drives.
Jesuits defensive line moving. Cunningham handing it off to Shelton. And Shelton will get down for about a gain of 2. Clifton Shelton been silenced almost all game. Haven't seen Darien go into the running game a lot so far.
Yeah, they've really been using their running backs more for screens and quick passes out of the backfield. It'll be interesting to see if they try to establish more of a running game, although it's been very tough for both offenses against the great defensive lines of these both teams. Cunningham,
Short pass out to Connor Lane. Will get tackled down and close to that first down marker. Not sure if he will get there, and it looks like it's going to be 4th down and short.
Yeah, it's a great tackle there from the Jesuits.
And so 4th and short for the Wave. Going for it. Cunningham setting up with Shelton in the backfield. Flag will be thrown.
Looks like they may have gotten Fairfield to jump off sides there.
Flag will be thrown. Darien moving the ball up, and it will be an offsides by the Jesuits, and a huge first down from Darien.
Yeah, it's definitely a relief there for Darien. They'll have to try to go for it on the 4th down. That if they don't get it, will give Prep great field position. That's going to allow them to move the sticks here.
So Darien with the 1st and 10. Cunningham with Shelton in the backfield. Cunningham finding deep throw. Roche catches it going out of bounds. Flag will be thrown, and it looks like Darien will get the pass interference call.
Yeah, looks like.
Yeah, Kevin Roche caught up by number 15, Luke Shanahan from the Jesuits.
Yeah, it looks like Shanahan never really played the ball there and was pretty much.
The ball will be
pushing on.
Going back, it looks like maybe, pass interference on the Jesuits. So Darien will move the ball up, and again, getting great field position on the penalties.
Gonna have another 15 yards here for the drive, and
no first down for Darien. Ball on their own 44-yard line. Declan Cunningham Cunningham, 2 receivers out to his left, Roche on his right. Fairfield Prep with the rush. Cunningham again trying to find Roche, and will go out of bounds. A little bit tripped up by the sideline, but very good coverage on the Fairfield Prep's secondary.
Yeah, they're liking the big target of Kevin Roche down the field. You definitely get up there over any defender pretty much and make the catch, or at least force it pass interference, as we saw a couple plays ago.
Yeah, Kevin Roche using that stature, but great coverage from the Fairfield Prep secondary. Luke Shanahan again on that one. So Cunningham, 2nd and 10 from the wave 44. Cunningham runs it off to his right, playing a screen from Darien, and it will move into Fairfield Prep, Fairfield Prep part of the field.
Yeah, another nice run there from Cunningham to pick up good yardage and make this a 2nd and short.
A big yardage indeed from Darien. It will be 3rd and short, 3rd down and 2. So again, we've seen Declan Cunningham using his legs to his advantage and getting those runs when necessary for the Blue Wave. Cunningham out, flag will be thrown. Looks like that was caught by number 86, Charlie Tom. And we'll see what this flag will be against.
Looks like they got the 1st down, but we'll see how the flag affects the play here.
The flag will be, looks like the flag will be on Darien.
Looks like they actually might have picked it up and waved it off.
So it looks like they are ruling off the flag on that one. But nevertheless, 3rd and 2 here. So excuse me, Darien will get the 1st down, 1st and 10 for the Wave. Another 1st down opportunity here. Cunningham in the backfield. He gets the ball, fake handoff to Shelton. He will take it on his own for a nice gain of about 5 yards.
Nice design run there, a big hole on the left side for Cunningham to take, and he will make defenses pay if that hole is there.
And so Cunningham, nice run, getting in down there for 2nd and 5 for the Wave, going into Fairfield Prep territory.
Darien doing a nice job here, just creating the chunk plays for themselves, slowly moving the ball up the field. It's been a nice long drive for them so far. If they continue it, if they continue this drive and get to the end zone, it'll be a real backbreaker for this.
Cunningham again with the quarterback rush, and he will get tripped up by the Jesuits. It was number 15, Luke Shanahan, looks like breaking that run up from Cunningham. So 3rd down and 4 for the Wave. Another big 3rd down opportunity. Both these teams have seen their fair share of 3rd down opportunities, but for this one, it's big for Darien to keep moving that ball into the Fairfield Prep zone.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if you see another run here from Darien, maybe to the running back this time. It's probably 4 down territory here.
Cunningham, short ball out, and that will be caught by number 81, Kevin Roche. And Roche hauling in another 1st down for the Wave.
Continuing to have a great game for this Darien offense.
So Cunningham and Roche, Darien student section, still very active, getting late into this game. Cunningham looking for a pass. He gets Luke Caesar with a big conversion. And Darien will move the chains.
It's a nice look down the seam there for Darien offense. Luke Caesar there on the reception. They're going to hurry back up to the line here.
Just trying to get a play. Cunningham will hand it off to Shelton. Shelton has a nice little hole. Will be put down. Flag will be thrown. And by the reaction of Andy Grant on that sideline, looks like it's going to be coming back.
Yeah, so they're going to get him for most likely offensive holding there.
Yeah, so holding on the offense against Darien, and that one will be going back.
Looks like that might knock him out of the red zone here.
So Cunningham again. Clifton Shelton with a nice long run on that one, but put away by the penalty. With just over 2 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Cunningham on a nice little run. And he will slide down to about the second and 10-yard line.
Yeah, again, nice job by Cunningham evading the pressure and picking up whatever yardage he can, as there really wasn't too much open up the field. You definitely don't want to force anything at this part of the field. It may cost a turnover.
So Cunningham with it, Darien trailblazing through this field. Cunningham looking for an open target, high ball. It looks like that will go above the head of Connor Lane. And you're lucky, you're tipping that off the hands of a wide receiver. You're lucky a defensive back is not there to pull that in for an interception.
Yeah, there was a couple of Jesuit defenders in the area there. Actually, it looks like Connor Lane might have prevented an interception there by getting a hand on his number 16. Was right there ready to maybe pick that one off.
Anthony Dorsey, the linebacker for the Fairfield Prep Jesuits.
Thank you.
Oh, these teams lining up third and long for Darien. Cunningham finding a slot receiver, going deep and way out of range for Kevin Roche. Trying to find a big tight end in the end zone and just can't complete.
Yeah, it looks like Roche may have hesitated a little there on the route, but ultimately he was pretty well covered there.
So we'll see what Darien can do in this type of territory. Of course, last game they went on the 4th and long and they converted to Connor Lane. Of course, Darien kicker Anson Sikora has not seen a field goal attempt this season yet, so we'll see what Darien will do here. It looks like Coach Andy Grant is telling them to stay on the field for this one.
Yeah, this is probably the right call in this situation with the winds having picked up here, especially in the second half. I think even though it's a 4th and very long, I think they got to just take their shot. They don't even have to get in the end zone on this one. Looks like the first down markers at around the 5-yard line.
Cunningham hiking and has time, trying to evade the Fairfield Prep defense, and he will be taken down at about the 30-yard line. Huge sack. Looks like that was number 9, Mason Frey, the linebacker.
That's a huge defensive stand. If it holds up for Prep, is going to be a flag on the play.
The flag will stay on the play. Number 94, Bowie Kohler there as well.
Looks like unsportsmanlike conduct.
So unsportsmanlike conduct will go against the Darien Blue Wave, and Fairfield Prep Jesuits will get even more better field position on this one.
Yeah, and even though all credit to Fairfield Prep defense, they're making the stop, but ultimately Darien put themselves behind the 8 ball there with the holding penalty early on after that great run by Shelton inside the red zone. They can't do that when they get there, when they get down in these situations, as so far we've seen that these situations are not coming off often for this offense.
And just want to give a quick shout out to our DAF Media crew, bringing you all the sights and sounds in this one. Eric Bellingham, Dalton Moss, Luke Zerby, Jason Bellingham, Owen Heffron, Leon Chen, James Ozane, and Trevor Kisco, bringing you all sights and sound. The cameras in this one doing a fabulous job at the Darien High School Stadium Field. All DAF Media student volunteers for Darien High School. As Fairfield Prep Jesuits will get another look on the offense. Quarterback Tyler Smith going with it, finding a short pass. Finbar Malloy, and he will get the first down. Finbar Malloy hasn't seen much opportunities to get on the offense this game, but there's another target from Smith to Malloy, a trend that we saw in their games against Greenwich and Daniel Hand.
Yeah, they definitely will be looking at for him to get him involved in the second half here. As he pretty much was a non-factor. Credit to the Darien defense for that in the first half. As you mentioned, another great field position for Prep to start this drive that was only enhanced by the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which if you're Darien, you really can't do.
Yeah, so Smith looking maybe handing off to Davis. Davis, sideline run, trying to evade the Darien defense. And he will get a good amount of yards. Flag will be thrown, though. We'll take another look at it. Stiff arm there, but not sure if that's going to be a late hit.
Looks like this Jesuit offense is backing up there.
And so Jesuit offense will. So the flag will go against the Jesuits, and it'll be holding on against Fairfield Prep.
Again, more costly penalties for the Jesuit offense. It's one of their only good runs into this game, with Davis being able to bounce to the outside there and get the stiff arm in open space and get a good game, but unfortunately, it'll all be in vain with that holding penalty.
So Fairfield Prep talking it over right now. They will have the ball at about the 47-yard line. First down and 13 for the Jesuits. Smith. He will get the ball going to the backfield. Nice pass out to Davis, evading that Darien defense, and he will get about a nice little gain on that one.
Looks like they're going to be able to get back up to previous line of scrimmage.
This was 2nd and 10 for the Jesuits. Nice pass from Smith to Davis. Nearing the end of the third quarter, time running out here. And we will bring you to the end of the third quarter here. Darien leading the Fairfield Prep Jesuits 7-2. We'll be back in a quick break. And we are back here live on the DAF Media Network. We'll take a look at the Darien football upcoming schedule. They'll take on the Norwalk Bears and FCAC matchup next Friday, and then we'll take the road trip to Greenwich Cardinals on Saturday the 14th, playing against the defending state champions of the Greenwich Cardinals. We're back home against Fairfield Ludlow Falcons, so we'll have FCAC matchups coming up for Darien, and I mean, pretty much overall key matchups for this Darien team to eventually take home that FCAC crown and be a top team in their conference.
Yeah, these games will be crucial for taking home another FCAC title, and as well as getting a record that will be able to qualify for the playoffs, as well as showing out versus these good teams like Greenwich.
Of course, the DAF Media streaming schedule is subject to change, but we got a great slew of football games here for the Blue Wave football team this fall. And Fairfield Prep, Tyler Smith with it, being evaded, and will be taken down by Darien. Huge play from the Darien defense and putting that one away.
Yeah, another great pressure there from the Darien defensive line. That's going to back up this Jesuit offense for another long third down here.
So 3rd and 19 at the DHS Stadium field. Another key moment for this Jesuits offense. Fairfield Prep, Tyler Smith getting it, looking around, trying to evade the Darien defense, and he will go down. Number 90 on that one for Darien, and puts it away for a huge loss. Number 90, Brant Kaiser on the sack.
That is a huge sack there for Darien defense. It's gonna, as it backs the punt up even further, and that's going to help them with their field position on this next drive. It looks like if they get a good return here, they might be able to get this ball out around midfield and set up their offense in a nice situation again.
Yeah, Darien gelling well on the defense right now. They've had sacks, interceptions, forced fumbles. I mean, pretty much any defensive statistic you can think of.
Yeah, this has been an amazing game defensively for both sides. The only scoring all game has been from the defenses, so it'll be interesting to see what these
the ball
offenses are
will
able to
travel
do.
after the punt, and the Jesuits will touch it at around the 24-yard line. You're watching this game on the DAF Media Network, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. Liam Tomaszewski, Thomas Aponte, so glad we could be here to watch the fourth quarter action here at the Darien High School Stadium Field between the Fairfield Prep Jesuits and the Darien Blue Wave. Overall, great matchup we have in store for us throughout this game. The defensive heavy, offensive powers have been minimal, is the least to say.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Pretty much offense has been almost non-existent in some areas of this game here.
As Darien will run with that one, number 33, Clifton Shelton, for a nice gain for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, I haven't seen Clifton too much this game, but we'll see if they want to be able to go to him more as he approaches the fourth quarter. Just try to run some clock here.
He will be pushed out of bounds on that one. 2nd down and 1. Short little gain for Darien. And here we go. Declan Cunningham back out, taking the handoff to Shelton. Low throw, trying to complete to Connor Lane, and that one will fall incomplete. And now 3rd down and 1 for Darien. Going into that playbook again with Declan Cunningham, using those legs. We'll see what Darien will have in store on this one.
Exactly. This might be another design run to Cunningham, or maybe another short pass to Roche as he lines up at the bottom of your screen.
Cunningham taking it off. It'll be Clifton Shelton. And we'll get the 1st down for Darien.
It's a nice play from Darien. Gets the job done. Keeps this clock rolling, keeps the chains moving. As looks like we're going to have injury timeout.
So yeah, injury out on the field. But of course for this Darien team, they've been strong so far on both sides. And what do you think we're going to see more going into this fourth quarter? Darien talking it over in the timeout huddle, and any trends you're seeing throughout this game for Darien going into this fourth quarter of action, and just trying for their offense and defense to gel well together.
Of course, we're seeing a lot of great defense from Darien that's put their offense in a lot of great situations on the field, but we're just seeing a lack of running game from this Darien offense, which if they manage to maintain this lead going into the later stages of this fourth quarter, it'll be essential that they are able to create a good running game that will pick up solid yards and continue to move the clock here. The screen passing and short passing has been very crucial as well for Darien. Let's see if they will continue with that. And I don't think we'll see too many shots down the field, but I wonder if one will open up for either team here.
It's nevertheless, Darien Blue Wave still on offense here. 1st down and 10 opportunity. Cunningham, receivers out both to his left and right. Cunningham giving the handoff to Shelton. And Shelton with a run, tackled out about the line of scrimmage. Of course, Darien trying to eat up some of this clock late in this game.
Yeah, it's the right decision here from Darien, but won't be able to get it done if they're only getting 1 or 2 yards of play. See if they try to go to the air on this one.
Now Cunningham in the backfield, giving it off, faking the handoff to Shelton. He will take it on his own. And tackled up, he will get about a gain of 5.
Yeah, another good run there from Cunningham, rolling out in the pocket, looking upfield real quick, seeing that he doesn't really have anyone, and taking it himself.
Yeah, we've seen Cunningham take the ball himself a lot this game, and trying to create those plays for the Darien on the quarterback side. Cunningham. Going off, running off to his left. Getting past the Fairfield Prep defenders, and he will get Darien a first down.
Yeah, it was a nice QB option play there. Put a lot of guys in the line of scrimmage and got blockers upfield for Cunningham to just make the run that's going to get him the first down there.
Of course, Darien only up 7-2, so of course all these plays are key to them because this game can change in any second.
Yeah, we've seen the game change so many times here so far today, especially when either defense is on the field.
The Darien offense talking it over. Trying to figure out, again, eating some of this clock off with just about 8 minutes left to go in the game. Cunningham and Shelton in the backfield. Receivers out to his right. And the big tight end, Roche, out to his left. Cunningham. Short pass out. Back to the line of scrimmage. And that one will be caught. Big catch by number 3, Will Bonner.
Yeah, it's a nice grab there. He managed to hang on to it, and that's crucial for keeping this clock rolling here. I think he knew the pressure was coming, but understood the importance of hanging on to that one.
Yeah, tight play to Cunningham to Bonner. Of course, Fairfield Prep secondary there. It almost looked like an interception from the look of it, but Will Bonner there to hold it on in for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, it definitely looked like the defensive back there had a chance to jump that route and take it for 6, but ultimately the ball got there fast enough.
And Cunningham in the Blue Wave. Ready to make another offensive play. Multiple receivers out. Cunningham passing out to Roche. That one will be off his hands, and the flag will be thrown. And that will be another pass interference call against the Jesuits.
Yeah, it looks like maybe Roche got tugged there a little bit as the pass was coming to him. That's a huge penalty there from the Jesuits. Roche's size really makes the defense susceptible.
Defensive holding will be the final call. And of course, Darien will be moving the ball up. Keep marching towards that end zone. And the first down and 10 for Darien. Ball on the 40. Cunningham.
It's been a nice drive so far by Darien. Wasted about 3.5 minutes of clock here so far.
Wasting time on the clock, just under 6.5 minutes left to go. Clifton Shelton running it. And he will get there for about a gain of 5, tackled at about the 35-yard line.
It's a nice solid run there by Shelton that this time doesn't get called back for offensive holding.
Second down and 5 for the Blue Wave. Still going with that run read. And the run been differentiated between Clifton Shelton and Declan Cunningham.
Darien very content here to take their time for putting the ball back in play.
Cunningham receivers both to his left and right. Cunningham's going to take it himself up the middle. He's got a nice hole and will be tackled at about the 30-yard line. And we'll get another Darien first down.
It's a great play there by the offensive line there, pushing those Jesuit defenders back. They brought a little bit of pressure, but managed to create a hole for Cunningham to get through and pick up a crucial first down there.
So, timeout will be taken by the Fairfield Prep Jesuits. And of course, the referees trying to spot the ball as they're looking how close it was. When you take another look at it, that ball was really close by Cunningham. From the looks of it from up here, you could tell that he kind of crossed that 30-yard line. But from down at the field level, of course, the referees have the best eye on that one.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a timeout for measuring here.
Yeah, so it'll be a referee timeout, a mistake, and timeout. The referee's trying to look at that ball. really close to that first down marker. We'll see what the referees will rule it.
Looks like they may have marked it short here.
And so it looks like it might be short. Declan Cunningham getting the Blue Wave ready on offense. They are going to mark him short, third down in inches, just at the 30-yard line. And Darien ready, big third down conversion. Just under 5 minutes left to go in game. Cunningham running it off to Shelton. And off to his left, and he will get a Darien first down.
It's a nice job by Shelton, just barreling right through any contact from Jesuit defenders and making sure he does everything he can to pick up that first down and keep this clock rolling.
So timeout will be taken by Keith Hellstern's Fairfield Prep Jesuits team, and we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back in the DAF Media Network. And back here live in the DAF Media Network. Just under 5 minutes left to go in this game, but want to give one quick shout out to our DAF Media crew, bringing you all the sights and sounds in this one. Eric Bellingham, Dalton Moss, Luke Zerby, Jason Bellingham, Owen Heffron, Leon Chen, James Ozane, and Trevor Kisco, bringing you everything with this great game has to offer. The DAF Media Network, Darien High School student volunteers coming out on this Friday night. Fairfield Prep just coming off the timeout. Darien will now have offensive possession, first down and 10.
Yeah, interesting that they used their timeout in that situation there. But still just under 5 minutes to go. But I guess they want to talk this one over here.
And so Declan Cunningham running with it, taking it himself, and he'll get there down for, looks like about a gain or 2 or 3.
Darien obviously has a lot of trust in their quarterback here. His handling of the ball, despite his early fumble. But he's been very consistent ever since then, picking up nice yardage each time.
So Darien getting ready. Figuring it out. Lots of receivers on the left and right, but of course Darien's been heavily with the run game this game so far. Cunningham out there eating up that clock for the Blue Wave. Cunningham will take it himself. He'll throw it to Kevin Roche, breaking a tackle. And a big play, excuse me, not Kevin Roche, number 86, Charlie Tom. Another one of those big juniors out there for this Darien Blue Wave team.
Yeah, that was a nice grab there by Tom. Got a little one-handed catch there. And a nice truck up the field there to get extra yardage here. And as Darien enters the red zone here, you got to feel like if you're Fairfield Prep, a touchdown would really hurt and feel like this game, it may even put the game out of reach there with how little time is left in the clock.
And so Darien, just about 3 minutes left to go in play. Cunningham lining up with receivers out to his right. Cunningham taking it himself with the speed, but he'll get knocked down. Looks like about a gain of 3.
Another nice run there. It's going to move the chains.
Move the chains, another first down for Darien. They've just been moving up this field like glue.
Exactly. They've been putting together a nice drive. I think this drive started around the 10-minute mark, back at their own 24. And right now they've wasted about 7 minutes here and are now inside their own 20, knocking on the door of the end zone here.
Both these teams talking it over. A crucial moment for the Fairfield Prep Jesuits to hold out on defense. The Darien Blue Wave just talking it over to how to put this game going.
And I wonder if Darien do come up short on a third down here, if they will elect to kick a field goal here, as a field goal would make it an 8-point game.
So Darien Blue Wave moving their offensive powers. Cunningham evading the Fairfield Prep, but will be taken down. Looks like that was number 8, John Morris, on the defensive back.
It's a nice tackle there by Morris in the backfield. Cunningham's got to make sure that keeps hold of that ball there. Some more defenders were coming in, and eventually he gets it back to his body and protects it as he goes to the ground.
So both these teams talking about it, just 2 minutes left to go in the game.
Looks like there may be a little bit confusion here.
Yeah, both teams just trying to communicate something, and
it's going to be a timeout Darien now.
Yeah, so Darien will take the timeout, trying not to force that delay of game penalty. So if you're Darien right now, what's your game plan? Just trying to get out of this game and be able to just put this game in the books.
I think you're looking here at another just 2 runs. You don't necessarily have to pass the ball, even if it is a 3rd and long. You can just trust your running game, and then if you want after, you can try to go for it on a 4th down to the end zone, or try to get the field goal that'll make it an 8-point game. But getting 2 plays that are completed inbounds will be crucial for making sure this clock runs to under 1 minute. So even if Jesuits do get the ball back, we will not have too much time left.
The refs blow the whistle. Both teams getting out to their respective sides. Cunningham with it. Crucial moment for Darien. 2nd and 13. He will take it himself, evade some Fairfield Prep defenders. And we'll get it back to the original line of scrimmage. Looking about to be a 3rd down and 10.
Looks like there might be a player down here.
There's a player down on the Darien side, and we'll take a quick break on the DAF Media Network. And we're back here live in the DAF Media Network. 1 minute and 42 seconds left to go in the game. As you're watching this in the DAF Media Network, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. So glad you could join us here on this Friday Night Lights game at the Darien High School Stadium field.
Luckily, the injured player managed to hop up off the field and get off under his own power. But we see an interesting quarterback change here as we see Ben Rolk come back into the game.
Yeah, so number 12, sophomore Ben Rolap back in the game after being absent for the majority of the 2nd and 3rd quarters. So back here with 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Rolap. Pass is incomplete. Looks like he was trying to find big wide receiver target, or excuse me, tight end target of Kevin Roche.
That's a nice incompletion there for the Jesuits. That's going to stop the clock in 1 minute 15 and put Darien in what should be a 4th and long situation.
or by the concession stand. We have a medical emergency. Everyone please leave the concession stand.
So these teams lining up 4th and 12. Anson Sikora going to go for his first field goal attempt of the year.
It's going to be a huge field goal attempt for Sikora.
Huge field goal for Sikora. It is up and that will go through. Anson Sikora 1 for 1 on field goals. And he will go, the Blue Wave will go up 10-2.
It's a big moment for this Blue Wave offense, getting their own first points on the board there as an offensive unit.
So Darien up 10-2.
And now with the way their defense has been playing all game, you've got to feel good about this next drive here defensively if you're Darien, with Fairfield only having a minute and 15 here and probably going to have to go the majority of the field.
And so Prep need to go quick. Of course, a big kick needed from Anson Sikora.
Probably see Prep trying to work these sidelines here on the next drive and maybe try to open up for some big plays down the field with their speedy wide receivers. Something that we have not seen so far in this game, but if they're going to do it now, it's going to be the time.
So a big play, a big kick here from Anson Sikora. Darien up 10-2 against the Jesuits. So, nevertheless, big kick from Anson Sikora. That ball is deep. Will be picked up. Number 2, Cooper Callahan, and he will go out of bounds. Fairfield Prep with the ball.
I wonder if Callahan really may have tried to wanted to try to let that ball bounce out of bounds and for a penalty there, and maybe get the ball at the 40. This was pretty close.
So Fairfield Prep with the ball. Looks like the the Fairfield Prep 20-yard line. Or 15-yard line.
Fairfield Prep with only one remaining timeout.
Prep, Tyler Smith. Nice quick pass out to Harwick. Or that would be incomplete to Harwick. Still a minute and 6 seconds left to go in the game.
Yeah, completion probably for the better there as it stops the clock. This really wasn't going to get any gain on that anyway. We'll set up a 2nd and 10 here.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Jesuits. Only one timeout remaining in the game. A huge opportunity here for Tyler Smith. Smith going looking for it himself. He finds his wide receiver. And that will be number 81, Kyler Robinson, the junior wide receiver for a Jesuits first down.
A nice play there. Nice job by Smith, evading the pressure and finding Robinson over the middle for the big game. So let's get to the line quickly here as the clock continues to roll.
Fairfield Prep with it. Smith going long to Kyler Robinson, trying to pull it in one hand, but will be incomplete. Nice coverage there by the Darien secondary.
Haven't seen Prep attempt too many big plays today as Smith has been under a lot of pressure. Hasn't had much time to do anything, but now it'll be even harder as Darien defense puts a lot of men back.
The Darien student section still here for the end of this game. Smith looking for a long one, and looks like that will be hauled in.
It's a nice.
That was number 14, Lamech Black.
It's a nice tackle and bounce there to keep the clock running.
Lamech Black with that one for the Jesuits, and key first down with 30 seconds left to go. Clock still running. Tyler Smith with it, and he will take it himself, but will be put down by the Darien defense.
That's a huge sack there. It's going to force Fairfield Prep to take their final timeout here with just 20 seconds to go.
So Fairfield Prep will take their final timeout. And Thomas, if you're the Jesuits, what are you talking about in that timeout huddle?
Probably talking about your next couple plays here, because you know that if you do end up getting tackled inbounds, you need to have something ready to go for your next plays. Of course, they'll try to attack the sidelines, but Darien will be defending heavily on the sidelines because they really only have 3 plays to make something happen here and force this game into overtime.
Yeah, so Darien defender Ryan Gately with that sack of quarterback Tyler Smith. We'll see just 20 seconds left to go in game. Getting windy here at the Darien High School Stadium field. Feel that chill in the air, the fall chill. Tomorrow, of course, the first day of the fall season. So today, the last day of summer.
Student section has now completely cleared their bleachers and is huddled as one big group against the fence as they're ready to celebrate this win.
Getting ready with it. 20 seconds left. Darien up 10-2. Play clock going. Referees talking about something. $20 seconds left. Here we go. Smith finds Finbar Malloy in a great spot. First down. Fairfield Prep moving quickly. Clock moving. Excuse me, clock not moving. High school rules, first downs. Clock stops until the referee blows the whistle. And it will be second down and 10.
Nice job by Jesuits to get back up to the line there and get the spike. Now it's only 11 seconds to go, and they have about 45 yards to cover here.
Nevertheless, Tyler Smith here. 11 seconds left on the clock. Smith looking out wide, trying to find his target of Finbar Malloy, and that will go incomplete. Big play by the Darien secondary.
That incompletion is going to leave really time left for only one play here. One final heave to the end zone. Let's see what these receivers for Prep can do, and if Tyler Smith has the arm to reach the end zone.
So 7 seconds left to go in play. Tyler Smith, quarterback Tyler Smith. Oh, excuse me, there'll be but 12 seconds now on the clock. Smith out wide, running out wide. Finding the pass. And it looks like that one will go.
So he's going to rule as a catch here.
They're going to rule that one as a catch.
But I don't know if he got out of bounds, so now we're going to have to hurry to the line here. Try to spike the ball here.
So 4 seconds left. Smith will throw that one away. So.
And that's going to be intentional grounding. He didn't spike the ball. He lined up in shotgun and just threw it away there. At the ground, it's going to be a loss of down here, and wonder if they'll reset the clock here as it reads triple zeros.
Yeah, so flag will throw intentional grounding on Tyler Smith. That's his third intentional grounding penalty. And Fairfield Prep Jesuits will have one last play. Try to get on the board.
Yeah, so not a really good mistake there. It's going to cost them a lot of yards here, and they went from being around the 30, 35-yard line for their final shot to now being at the 43, 42-yard line.
Well, it looks like they will get one last play. Third down and 10 for the Jesuits. Smith looking out wide, big throw downfield, looking for Finbar Malloy. And that one will be incomplete, and Darien will take the win at home, 10-2 against the Fairfield Prep Jesuits.
Wow, what an amazing game, what an amazing win for Darien. Defense star of the show here.
Huge win for Darien. The student section coming out for the victory. And what an overall great game for Darien. A very heavily defensive game on both sides. The offense wasn't there throughout the whole game, but ultimately Darien will come out after a huge touchdown from number 5, Ben Curtis, on the defense linebacker side.
Yeah, this was amazing defensive showcase for both teams. Credit to both defenses. Even though the Prep defense wasn't able to get the win, they still played really well. And unfortunately, it's a hard loss for them to go 0-3.
So now it looks like we're going to send it down to our field reporter, Owen Heffron, who will be interviewing our player of the game for Darien. Number 5, Ben Curtis, who got Darien's lone touchdown. Owen.
All right, I'm here with the player of the game, Ben Curtis. Ben, forced fumble, pick 6, the only touchdown of the game. Describe that. You're a junior, first year on varsity. Is that an awakening for you or what?
Best feeling ever. I knew the play, knew the route was coming, just jumped it. Best feeling ever.
And 3-0 now in the year.
Yeah.
So, first game under the lights now. How's the energy?
Oh, it's amazing. Fans here, it's crazy. Best game I've ever played. I mean, it's the second game I've ever played on varsity, so It's crazy.
All right, well, thank you so much, Ben. Hey, enjoy this win.
Thank you.
Friends and family out here. All right, have a good rest of your night. Yeah.
You too.
Thank you, Owen. And, of course, Ben Curtis, the lone touchdown for the Darien Blue Wave, his first year on varsity. And just an overall great win. This reminds me of just going back to those Darien football games, student section coming out, and what a remarkable win for the Blue Wave.
Yeah, what an amazing turnout tonight, as always, for these night games. The crowd really brought the energy here, despite maybe at times a slightly boring game to watch it with little offensive production, but I think the defensive turnovers and defensive big plays really is what drove the energy today and ultimately what got Darien the win.
So a low scoring for Darien there are going next Friday to take on the Norwalk Bears at Norwalk, the start of their 2-game road trip. How do you think they're going to bring the momentum into that game?
I think just continue to do what they've been doing on defense in this game and in the last game. I think they got to make adjustments on offense with another offensive showing that really wasn't what we're used to from a Darien team. But it'll be interesting to see how their offense bounce back for next week.
Yeah, so next week the Fairfield Prep Jesuits will take on the Cheshire Rams in their home contest next Friday. But overall, Darien will take the victory today, 10-2. Want to give one final shout out to our DAF Media crew, bring you all the sights and sounds in this one. Eric Bellingham, Dalton Moss, Luke Zerby, Jason Bellingham, Owen Heffron, Leon Chen, James Ozane, Trevor Kisco, and an excellent shout out also to Braden Shank down at Virginia Tech, helping us out with some of the production stuff for this game. So I want to give one shout out to him and, of course, our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrews. So one last call from Darien High School Stadium Field. Darien, your victors, 10-2. You've been watching this on the DAF Media Network, a joint venture between the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. Thank you, everyone, and have a great rest of your night.